I'm from the streets, bitch.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Jay from Will's VG Addiction with another repair video. Got a package from eBay, some N64 games. I honestly don't even remember what's in here. They've been sitting here for about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, something like that. And we're gonna fix them. They're supposedly non-working. So we got a copy of Ocarina of Time, 007, Mario, two Mario Karts. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I'll flash it on the screen right about now to show you the listing. I guess the first thing that we should do is check these games out and make sure they actually don't work. This one for sure won't. I don't know if you can see that in there, but 2 of the pins are broken. 3 of the pins. 4, actually. 5 on that side as well. So we'll pop that open so you can get a better look at that. This one doesn't look too bad. This one doesn't look bad. It's got some writing on the back. And this one looks okay as well. So first thing we're going to do, as always, got our Q-tips and our alcohol. So we're going to clean the contacts, and then we'll power these on and check them out and see what happens. This one for sure is not likely to work. All right, let's power on the old N64 and see what happens when we pop these bad boys in. Game number 1, ready to test. That's about what I expected. So we'll pop that one out and move on to the next. Mario Kart number 1. I'm really expecting at least one of these to work, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised. Nothing. Mario Kart number 2. No. Nothing. A little surprised, to be honest with you. All right, so we got 4 carts that will need repair. Shit, here we go. All right, let's start with an old favorite on the show, Ocarina of Time. I've done a few of these, I think, on the program. So let's check out the inside and see how bad it actually is. This one will almost certainly need a board swap from what I observed. See what I was saying about the pins being broken? They're just like chipped off. So that's certainly not going to work. Look at that. How does that happen? So what I've got to take a look at is if I've got a NUS-03 Alpha TAC-01 board. I think I'm pretty much out of these as far as Japanese junk games go, but I'm going to take a quick look and verify. I really hate to do this, but we got a sacrificial lamb. It's the Legend of Zelda Japanese version. I paid $1 for this a couple years back. I don't have any other compatible carts. Unfortunately, I did not stock up on N64 carts for donor carts. I have tons of Super Nintendo carts. I pretty much ran my course through most of the common junk carts for some of the repairs I've already done. So it looks like we're going to have to sacrifice this bad boy. All right. So we're going to bite the bullet here. And this copy's going to have to go. In the name of money, because nobody is willing to pay anything for a Japanese Ocarina of Time, really. And they will pay money for a American cart, even if it's not the greatest condition copy. I still get way more for it. So what we're going to do is, this is the ROM chip here. We're going to have to swap that over. Should be pretty easy, pretty painless. I should actually test this one to make sure it works. It's not really the nicest looking card either. It's pretty crusty looking. I'll have to clean that up, but just check to see if that battery's good. We're looking for at least 3 volts. There we go. 3.062. Probably change it out, but I'm not gonna. Bulk it. So super quick. We'll polish those pins and we'll get to swapping. So one thing to remember as you're doing a chip swap, when you're working with the N64 carts, the markings are always upside down when you're putting the chip in. So, oops. What am I doing? All right. So I'm going to push it in and make sure all the pins have gone through. That one was pretty easy. This one was not problematic at all. So all the pins are in. We can start soldering. We start with anchor points on the corners at the end just to make sure that this thing doesn't move around. Once those are good, we can go down the line pretty quickly. Still got flux on the board, so it should be pretty easy to just kind of do some drag soldering. I'll clean that up momentarily. Certainly use way too much on this thing. That's all right though. Grab me a little braid and get the rest of that junk up. So let's make sure I don't have any bridges. Kind of amateur hour here right now. It's 10:30 on a Friday night, and I had a couple drinks. Try to get loose after work, after a really long work day, and I'm doing this for no other reason but out of boredom. And I got to work tomorrow, so I got to be up at like 4:30 in the morning. Anyway, neither here nor there. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and pop this in the system and check it out. We'll clean up the flux a little later. Let's zoom out. Turn our TV on. I think this is going to be the only one I do tonight, and then tomorrow I'll work on the rest of them after work. All right, that's one. I mean, that wasn't really a repair. It's just kind of, I don't know, I guess it was, but you have to rename the file something in English. The old save files stay in Japanese until you do something with them. All right, we're gonna call that good. We'll clean this up off camera. And when you see this, it'll be an instant, but for me, the next one will be in about roughly 15 hours. All right, folks, we're back. In the interest of saving time, I've already opened up this Mario Kart 64, and the fault here is very easy to see, but I got to get underneath the microscope to show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. All right, folks, so this one is actually pretty easy to see. It looks like a dot of corrosion with the naked eye, and then looking under the microscope, you can see a clear break right there. So we're gonna do what we always do. We're gonna get a little scraping going on. And we're gonna patch that with a really thin wire, and it should be good to go, I believe. So this right here also looks kind of bad, but that actually tests okay. So I'm just scraping off a little bit of the solder mask around that break so we can make a nice little patch and not have it look ridiculous by putting some giant wire there. So we'll clean that up with a little bit of alcohol. We'll drop a little flux on there. And get our solder wherever that is at. There we go. And tin up that area to prep it for the wire. Scrape that more. Yeah, I definitely need to scrape that a little bit more to cover or uncover some more of that that trace. That should be good enough now. All right, we'll grab our wire. I'm gonna have to tilt this to the side just a little bit so I can run it along that trace. Bear with me now. Oh Lord, this is not going well already. This is annoying me. So that should do it. Pretty simple there. Let's clean that off and see how it looks. turn it back around this way. That doesn't look great, but it's not bad either. You gotta excuse me, it's allergy season and my allergies are not you gotta excuse me, it's allergy season and it's driving me nuts right now. Alright, so that should be good enough. The trace next to it doesn't look so hot either. That one might be about to go too. Let me scrape a little bit of that off and just see how that looks. Yeah, it might be just surface corrosion. That's fine. And put some solder mask on there anyway once I confirm that this is working. Let's test for continuity and make sure that is good. Okay, so that should be good to go. Let's put it in the system and check it out and see if it works. All right, we're all set up. Let's see what happens. Cool. So that's 2 down. Pretty easy so far. Let's move on to the next one. So real quick before we continue, I opened up the other Mario Kart and I just thought it was really interesting that there's 2 very different board revisions here. I don't think I've ever noticed that there was a board revision on this one, but the smaller one is the million seller and the bigger one is the first revision. So just kind of thought that was interesting. So as we look at this card, it's a break in almost the exact same spot. I'll get under the microscope and show y'all, but it's right here. You can plainly see it, and that trace goes all the way up here, and there's no continuity at all. So pretty much the same fix here. Let's get to it. So again, pretty much the same thing we're gonna do here. A little bit of scraping around that break to expose that copper, and then we're gonna solder our wire to it super quick and be done with it. Now, some people may ask why I use an X-Acto knife, and I think I've mentioned this before, rather than like a fiberglass pen. I just don't like undoing all the solder mask on everything around the actual break. There's no reason to destroy the solder mask around the other traces. I just need to isolate the one and I'm good. All right, that's good enough. So we'll clean that off, get all the debris out of the way. Add some flux. Oops. Let's get rid of that paper towel real quick. We don't need that right now. Tin up the area. That's a lot better than the other one already. Get our wire. Let's see. Move that in that direction there so I can get to it easier. Get our anger point soldered in. Let's try that again. All right. Should be good there. Pretty simple stuff. All right, so we will test for that continuity. Good to go. All right, let's clean that up a little bit better and give it a good test and see what happens. Should be good, I think. I don't see any other major issues there. I'm gonna go ahead and clean those pins off too before I stick it in my system though. Actually, let's try to do that the right way. Just gonna do a quick clean on the pins, nothing special or out of the ordinary. All right. Let's drop that in the old N64, verify that it's working, and move on to the last one. Nice. Actually, a pretty simple lot so far. Let's move on to the last one. All right, folks. We got our 007 opened up, and of course, in truest fashion, we saved the best for last. This one looks like shit. So, first thing that kind of bothered me was there was a screw missing from the inside, the little steel plating there. I don't know what this is on the inside. And then you look at it, and this thing looks like hell. So there's definitely going to be multiple traces that need to be fixed here. It's pretty bad. So I guess the first thing that we should do is test for continuity and see what it is that we're working with here. All right, so the ground plane is pretty easy. Good to go. Good to go. That one doesn't go anywhere. Ground, this goes here. That works. That works. This one goes where? Up here. Okay. I don't have my glasses on. I complain about this a lot. My eyes have gotten worse and worse over the years. I'm staring at a computer screen all day. Always on that side. Good enough. Easy. Oh, off. That was terrible. There's one there. There's there. There's round. Oh, no, there's one there. There's some goes up here somewhere. There's not playing some goes. Up there. There's one there. Some goes. There. That's good. That one's sometimes you can scratch up here a little bit too. So that one's like in 40. Sounds good. Just round. Somewhere here. That one's starting good. Maybe something over here. That's starting good. This is awful. That goes where you go. Where's it go? Oh, fuck. This way somewhere. That's good. Can't see those somewhere. That's good. That's good. And these are good. So it looks like just this one right here probably has a break somewhere. And it looks like it's right here. So if we zoom in, scrape a little bit of this solder mask away right about, where are we at? Right here. Just see if there's anything to solder to, or if there's any continuity there at all. Doesn't look like it. It looks like that's actually a clear break, especially, I'm not looking under a microscope, but just kind of feeling the way that this X-Acto knife goes along that surface. It feels like there's a pit there. So that should be good enough to test. We'll look. Let's see, where's it supposed to go? There might be another break up there, it looks like, maybe. Certainly a break there. Okay, there we go. So this fourth pin to the top, and then you'll see down here there's nothing. All right, actually that's going to be a little bit more simplistic than I thought. So we'll zoom out a little. Clean that area up. Fix that brake and call it good. So this is actually pretty easy too. Man, this one looks terrible. Get under the microscope because I can't see shit when it comes to actually doing this for precision. I'm not going to be able to see, so let me move the angle of this camera so it doesn't get in the way. Man, that one looks pretty bad too still, and so does this one. Might have to clean those up a little bit anyway. I don't remember what I got these for. I think it was like somewhere between $45 and $60 shipped. I don't remember. I really, really don't, which is terrible, but I can certainly make all that money back, hopefully, with the sale of the 2 Mario Karts. Even though, like, I have to sell these at a discount because they are repaired. Some people actually really don't give a shit. Like, I could put them on eBay for maybe only just a few dollars less than what the normal copy in a similar physical cosmetic condition would go for. But this 007 is going to have to go cheap for sure. I'm over here trying to work with this wire and it's just not cooperating with me. That kind of shows you when you're working with these, man, having enough flux, it makes all the difference. It really does. It did not stick at all with that residual first round of flux, but with the second little dab, stuck right on there like it was supposed to. So that's a beautiful thing. Man. Let me get in there real quick and just kind of scrape some of this crud away and see how bad the rest of these traces are. Like, I don't want to damage them, but I do want to get this corrosion off so it doesn't spread any further. Because that can be an issue down the line too. So something I've worked with in the past, I like to do these. So I like to do a lot of these things that have corroded traces just because, to be honest with you, this is actually fun to me. This is like one of the more fun types of repairs to do. Some of the stuff that I've worked on that was pretty well aged that had corroded traces, I've noticed that underneath the solder mask, this stuff can like really, spread quite a bit. And when you scrape this stuff away, like it's all just like brown gunk. So I try to scrape it away when I see it so that it doesn't continue to spread. It's easy to just put a little bit of solder mask on these after scraping this crap away and cleaning it up properly. So I might treat this with some vinegar, some white vinegar afterwards, but I really want to get all this crap off so it doesn't, hopefully, it doesn't create any issues going down the line. That was not good. I know it's not good at all. This might seem like a scumbag move, but when I get cheaper stuff like this, to me, to be honest with you, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to throw it up on eBay for like a couple dollars and be like, hey, this has been repaired. That's why it's cheap. What I do, I tend to do anyway, is I've got a bunch of Japanese N64s. N64s are hot in the streets right now, pimps. So I will do the old region, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to call it a mod because you're just basically clipping two plastic clips, but I'll sell an N64 as like region free for US and Japan. And I'll throw a bunch of Japanese games in there, and then I'll just throw one of these games in there too to kind of attract people to want to buy it, since that's usually it's a little bit tougher of a sell to sell a Japanese system, even though it's had the clips broken off or clipped off or whatever, smoothed out. It's just easier to sell it when you have an American game and just say, hey, this American game works, but it has been repaired. People, I guess you get more of the casuals that kind of go for those instead of like the hardcore collectors where everything has to be perfect. So as long as you're open and honest, I feel like it's not really that bad of a thing, but I guess some people might consider it kind of scummy. Yeah, that's enough. All right, I think that's okay. Probably not so much, but it's so bad, you know, so after I clean this up with alcohol, I'll probably, like I said, dab some white vinegar on there, and then let it sit for a few seconds, well, a few minutes, and then clean it off with alcohol again. Drop some solder mask on all the places that are affected. Get all that up too. An accidental blob of solder on that pin. Don't want that. All right. So clean this up with a little alcohol and test. Actually, we should test for continuity there because I don't think we did that yet on the one trace that we did repair. So this one I think goes up. There's the fourth pin, good to go. And then I was a little concerned about this one here. So that's good. And then this one here. That's good. Okay. Let's, like I said, let's clean it up. And then we'll test. All right, let's pop this last one in the system and see if it actually does work. Moment of truth. All right. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's mute this shit. All right, so this one was actually a true rapid fire repair. 4 for 4. Didn't take too long. Only one trace per cart. So they're all working, all good to go. Of course, I'll test more off camera, but you guys get the idea. If this is something that you're interested in doing, I highly recommend trying to find some cheap lots on eBay. Maybe not start out with games that are like $50 or $60. Start out with some just crap game that's listed as not working for a few bucks, and you want to get some practice on that, or go to Goodwill and just buy some junk electronics and see if you can replicate the results here. So anyway, rambling on. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.
I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.